Oh,
You're my friend,
friends
Kathy.
who climb Mount St. Helens in record speeds, courtesy of a snow kite. This is just absolutely amazing. Aaron Sales, the snow kiter who accomplished this, spent 10 years dreaming of climbing up Mount St. Helens. Well, really sailing up Mount St. Helens, and we're so pleased to have him in studio this morning to explain all about snow kiting. Have you heard of this?
Right, no, I had not. I had not heard about this, Aaron, so I think that's question number one. Snow kiting. If you told me you invented it, I would have believed you. So how long has snow kiting been around?
Well, snow kiting's been around for about 20 years now, and it's very similar to the water kiting. You see it out in the gorge on the water, but now we're riding skis and snowboards. So it's using the power of the kite to ride whatever board you want, and we're using these to climb mountains now.
So explain this St. Helens expedition.
The St. Helens expedition just happened, and it's been a dream come true that I've been working on for over 10 years. But I used this kite right behind me to power up the mountain, going about 20 miles an hour all the way from the bottom of the mountain to the very summit in about 35 minutes. So it was one heck of a ride.
So we're watching this video here. I don't see you on the snow at all. It looks like you're just gliding through the air.
Well, on the way up, I rode on the snow all the way to the top, and the footage you see right here, that's a little bit lower at the bottom of the mountain. But yeah, I flew right off the side of the mountain, 200 feet up in the air. It was mind-blowing for about a 45-second flight. So one of the biggest flights of my life.
So there's little snowboarding going into it, but it's the technique of getting that lift off?
There's two different ways you can ride. You can ride on the snow, which is great for climbing and coming back down, but when you really want to take the fun meter up, then you huck yourself right off the side of the mountain and go into flight, very similar to a paragliding. So
now you said it's like mind-blowing. I'm thinking you're like basically, how can I put this politely on TV?
Crazy?
Yeah, okay. Things are happening inside your body that maybe you can't control. How about that? I mean, literally, how do you prepare yourself for something that you've never experienced before until it's happening?
Well, you take it one step at a time. You don't just start boosting 200 feet in the air right off the bat. So you take little small safe steps along the way. But I've been doing this for 20 years, and it was one of those days that just aligned where the wind was perfect, the sun was out, and I felt that everything was just right, and I knew it was time that I could go for a big flight.
You referenced your kite being in studio here, so I want to have your very able photographer, Richard Hallman, bring that into us now. And this is how you accomplished.
Yeah, so this is what's called a 6-meter kite, and this is actually a really small kite, but when it was blowing 40 miles an hour at the top of the summit, you have to have a small kite. So they get about 3 times the size of this, and we have kite lines that come down to a bar, and you're able to steer this kite wherever you want to go. And at the top, we just put the kite down, packed it up, and snowboarded back down to the bottom, and for the ride of your life.
I know people like you. I know how you operate. This isn't enough. You're going to want to do something else after this, right? So what's next with you, your kite, and your board here?
Well, there's always something more, and I think you can always go further, faster, and higher. And we have some amazing volcanic peaks here in the Northwest. I've got my sights on Mount Adams, but also looking to get over to Japan. Let's check out Mount Fuji.
How about taking off from here and just landing in Japan?
And I think like a mom, and I'm thinking, isn't this dangerous, Aaron?
It could be dangerous, but it's all calculated risk, and this equipment is really safe nowadays. At any point, we could actually detach from the kite, and that makes things safe. So if I ever, the last thing I wanted to do is get pulled into the crater of Mount St. Helens from the top. But we take some safety precautions along the way. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I definitely want to get back to my family and friends in one piece, so you got to make good decisions along the way.
Yeah.
We have something in common. The last thing I want to do is be pulled into the crater of Mount St. Helens. So very nice to meet you. Very cool story.
Really, really nice. We thank you for coming in, because your home is Hood River, right? You had to make some miles to get here.
It was a beautiful day down, coming down from the gorge, but yeah, thanks for having me. And
all right. Keep us posted on what's next.
All right, sounds good.
Cute young lady joining us next.